Good morning, students. So, which chapter we were doing? Do you remember?
In
Industries. So, before reading, before starting from the textbook, we'll just see what is given here in the PPT and then we'll go back to textbook. Okay. So, world's oldest industries are iron and steel industry, textile industry, and the newest industry is the information technology industry. All right. So, in today's period, we are going to see these first type, that is iron and steel industry, which is one of the oldest industries in our country. Okay. And why it is called as the backbone of modern industry, that we are going to check out in today's period. Okay, so this slide is showing you why industry is a system. Who will tell me why industry is a system?
Ma'am, there are
In
many steps of
yes, what are the three steps? The first is
input,
input,
input.
processing, output.
processing, and output, right?
Yes.
So the input it is here on this slide. You will see what is input. So first and foremost, you will require iron ore. So this is iron ore here. Iron ore has to be purified. Okay, that means the mineral has to be taken out from it. All the impurities have to be removed. Next is coal, because for that process you require a lot of energy, lot of fire for it to remove out, melt out those metallic parts and then remove the impurities from it. Then limestone. Okay, this is the input. Okay, that is the raw material. Next is labor. That is the amount of people who are going to work in it, the skilled and the unskilled labor. Then the capital, that is the money that is to be invested in this industry. And last time I told you that the money is required for what all? For building the industry. That means right from buying the land, building the industry, buying the raw materials, then buying the machinery, paying the workers, and then again taking it to the market. So for that again you have to have arrange transport and then take those things to the market. So for all this you require money. Okay, and again the infrastructure, that means do you have the proper machinery, do you have the proper technology for all that, and do you have access to proper roadways, railways, and waterways for sending your product. So all this is necessary. So this is the input that is required in iron and steel industry. Once again, the list of the input is for raw materials, it is iron ore, coal, limestone. Okay, then you require labor as input, that is skilled and unskilled labor. Then capital, that is the money that has to be invested for all the things. And lastly, the infrastructure, that is to be present if the product has to safely reach the market. Okay, then this is the processing, that is the second part of it. In a system, the first part was input, which we already saw. Now this is the processing. Okay, so if you see, there are two major processing, one is smelting and one is refining. Okay, so here, as the word is having a combination, smelting, ing is melting. Okay, it comes from another part of it, that is melting. So you have to melt all the metallic content and then you have to remove out the impurities. So that is done through blast furnace. So when you do through, the processing is done through blast furnace, that is from the conveyor system you send the material in there. Okay, then all the processing happens. So here you see, this is the red part because it is very hot inside. Okay, because you are actually putting it on the coal energy, it is very hot. So this is the melting of iron ore, coke, and limestone. And then what you get from here, slag hole, is the impurities that you will get. The impurities will come out from the slag hole, and what remains is the purified form of iron. Is this clear to everyone? Yes. So you have two processing, smelting and refining. Refining means to get the purified form of iron and then make it into steel. So these are the two processes that go into it. Okay. Then what are the outputs? That means once you do something in that industry, what are the, once you get the purified iron and steel in the industry, what are the different things for which it is used? Okay. So, what it is used for? It is used to make steel rolls, steel rods, and steel plates. Any idea where these things are being used? For
Yes.
construction, correct?
Yes.
Ma'am, we
For
can
metal
use the
So,
material
you
rollers
and
see,
for the bulldozers.
okay, good. So now we are going to see, this is the today's question that you have to answer. And again, when I open the textbook, you will get a correct answer for it there also. So basically, you will see that products right from a safety pin to an oil rig are made from steel. So in our house, the smallest item that we use, that is a needle or a safety pin, okay, to huge things like as somebody said here, it is used in bulldozers, it is used in machines. So right from the smallest thing to the most huge things that are used in industry, most of the industries are dependent, most of the industries as well as household are dependent on iron and steel industry, correct? Second is that many wire plates, coins, rods, etc., that we use in our daily life, the plates that we use at home, or the coins that we circulate in the market, or the rods that are used in construction, are all made from iron and steel. Then alloys that have even more uses can be made by mixing steel with other metals like copper, aluminum, etc. So if you mix these with other metals, then you can make what is called as alloys, and at times these alloys are also used in many of the products that we use in our everyday life. So that is the reason iron and steel industry is the backbone of modern industry. Okay, now I'll open the textbook and you will find more points to your answer from the textbook. And I want everyone to include those points, because if this answer comes for 5 mark, I don't want you to just write 3 points there. You are going to add to the points to it. Okay. So once again, we'll just see here. Okay. Like all other industries, iron and steel industry comprises various processes, inputs and outputs. Okay. So here again we have seen, once again a quick revision. It is the raw materials such as iron ore, coal, limestone, labor, capital, site and other infrastructure. This is the, what is that? This is what?
Input.
Input, correct. So this is the input, okay. Then what undergoes in the blast furnace, that is smelting and then refining, is what? It is the
Process.
processing, correct. And then this last sentence is very, very important. The output obtained is steel, which may be used by other industries as raw material. This is very important. So we can directly use iron and steel, but many other industries are using iron and steel as their first basic raw material. Okay. So
Ma'am,
yes.
what mean raw material?
Raw material means, like, see, if I have a textile industry, I can make textile from what? I can make textile from cotton or from
Yes,
silk, correct?
yes,
So
yes,
for that, if it is a cotton textile, I should have enough supply of raw cotton
yes.
balls. That
Cotton
is the raw
balls.
material. That is the raw material. So what is required to be processed upon? That is your raw material. Okay, so
Okay,
now see, this steel is also useful because it can be cut and cut into shapes, various shapes. It can be made into wires also. Okay, so
okay,
these are the things that are required in different industries as well as for our everyday use also. That is why it is called as the backbone of modern industry. Now see here, this is the place where you will find your answer for today's work. Okay, for your today's answer as homework, you will find this. Can you see it here? See here, almost everything we
yes,
use is either made of iron and steel or has been made with tools and machinery of these metals. Okay, so just now we saw example of steel plates, steel rods, which are directly used by some companies, and even the iron sheets or the iron wires, okay, the steel wires, they are also used by these other companies like the ships, trains, automobile industries, because the body of all this is made out of iron and steel, right? The body of our automobile, our car, is made of from iron and steel. So we require that. Okay, even in our household, safety pins, needles, okay, that we use are made from iron and steel. Then oil wells, okay, where the machinery is required to drill out the oil, or the pipelines that you see on the road, which are used for water transport or oil transport, are made from iron and steel. Okay, so this is even your farm equipments. In the agriculture chapter, you have seen no various farm equipments. the plow, the hoe. These are the basic ones. Then even tractors that you saw, harvesters, okay, all those are made from what? Steel. So all this requires the usage of product from iron and steel industry, and hence you will call this industry as the uh, backbone of modern industries. Okay, now what are, when you locate this iron and steel industry, we have seen factors affecting location of industry, right, in the previous period. So when you talk of location of iron and steel industry, where do you think will it be located? So when iron and steel industry first started, in 1800s, it was located where raw material was available. So what is the raw material that is required? What is the raw material? Iron ore, correct. Yes, iron ore. Then next is you require to do processing of smelting and refining through blast furnace. So for that you require continuous supply of power, right? So power
Yes.
supply, and also to cool it down you will later require running water. So these are the things where the earlier industries were located. Okay, after few years, okay, they began to be located near coal fields, or close to, sorry, or close to canals and railways. Why do you think that way? Why it was like that? Why it was located close to railways and canals, especially railways?
Ma'am, can it's
Lemons.
because so that they can get water to cool down.
Okay, and near coal fields and railways. See, coal field is the, again, coal is required in huge amount, right? In this industry,
Yes.
it is one of the inputs.
Yes.
So the transportation cost on that should be reduced. Okay, correct. And even this railways, again, for the same purpose. Either you need them close by to your industry from where you can easily access the raw materials, or you can take the end product to the market. So these are the factors again. This is like a case study where we studied the previous period factors affecting location of industry. Now, from those factors, we are taking out relevant factors which will be important for the establishment of iron and steel industry. Okay, then after that, okay, now it is being, what is being taken into consideration is these points. Recent years, availability of raw materials, cheap labor, because not more money should go on hiring laborers. Your factory should not be, your industry should not be in such a place where people cannot easily reach. If they have difficulty in reaching, they will charge you more. So you don't want that. So you have to set up, or you have to set up in those countries where the population is poor and they are ready to anyway work at a cheaper rate. So this is another factor which is given taken into consideration. Then again, transport and market remain the same, because your cost on transportation and your cost on taking back the product to the market should be reduced. Only then you can earn profit. Your cost of production, because last time you wrote no answer, why is industrial areas important, why setting up industrial areas important, in that you wrote the first point, it lowers the cost production rate, correct? So this is very, very important. Now in India, where do you find this? You find most of the steel producing centers in eastern states. Okay, these are the places. So which are those states here? These four states you will find the location. Which location is in Bengal, that is West Bengal, Jharkhand, Orissa, and Chhattisgarh. These are the places in East India where you will find most of the iron and steel industry that is being located. You know, right? Jamshedpur was a place where first iron and steel industry was set up in India. Yes, who has set
Yes,
it up?
ma'am.
See here, who has set it up? Here. The first iron and steel industry was set up by Tata Iron and Steel Industry, that is TISCO. Yes, this is the
Okay.
very first industry that was set up in India before independence. Okay, now TISCO was started when? 1907 at Sakchi near the confluence of rivers Subarnarekha and Karkarey. So what will be the advantage if it is this industry is opened near the rivers Subarnarekha and Karkarey in Jharkhand? This is present in today's current state of Jharkhand.
It you can access the water easily.
Yes, waterway transport or the availability of water will always be there. Okay, later stage Sakshi was renamed as Jamshedpur. Okay, so now this is another advantageous place. Okay, I want you all to read this paragraph from Sakchi till later development, and you're going to tell me some other factors which are highly advantageous why this place Jamshedpur was chosen to be the place where this industry was set up. Now pick up the
No,
factors.
ma'am.
Pick up the factors why Jamshedpur was chosen as the location for setting up the first iron and steel
Because
industry in
it
India.
was so the industry was only 32 kilometer away from the Kalimati station on the Bengal Nagpur railway line,
So,
and
this is the most important point, right? It is near transport, easily accessible to rail transport area.
railway.
Okay, yes. Now, okay, thank you. One point is close to the Bengal Nagpur railway line near the Kalimati station. So, it is or it is easy to access the rail transport from there.
It was close to the iron ore and coal magnesium to deposit as well the Kolkata, which provided a large market. So it was easy to Tisco get
Okay, correct.
their
So one was what it provided. It was close to the iron ore, coal, and manganese deposits. So it was close to raw materials. Okay, because all these four states which we highlighted here are these four states here. That is West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. They all are having this raw materials in huge amount, right? Then it provided a market for them to purchase the raw material. Okay, then the next was, yes, what is one more point?
and next was that Tisco get coal from Zaria coal
Of
fields
course,
and
yes.
limesfields and
Okay, coal fields.
limestones.
So, keeping all these points in mind, you can put it under one category, that is the raw material is easily
Accessible.
available.
Accessible.
Okay, accessible. Then, so first point is transport point is covered. Second is raw material is covered. What is the third point?
Ma'am, it was getting water supply for it is getting water
Karkai
supply.
Yes,
and
sufficient
Sabarnarekha.
water supply
Supply,
because of
yes.
the Karkai and Subarnarekha rivers. Okay,
Rivers.
right. And now, next to that, next to this TISCO, now you have other industries that are also developed, which use the raw materials from this industry. Okay, and these industries are chemical industries, locomotive parts, agricultural equipments, machinery, tin plate, cable, and wire. These kind of industries have also been set up now, which are closer to this TISCO in Jamshedpur. What will be the advantages of TISCO being so near for these companies, for these factories there? Yes, what will be the advantage? If somebody has set up a chemical industry there, if somebody has set up a agricultural equipment industry over there, how will TISCO being near to them help these industries?
because
This is related to
the
what now?
product
Yes.
because the product that Tisco makes, it is the
Mm-hmm.
raw material of these other industries.
Very good. Yes. The product that is iron and steel. What is Tisco making? Iron and steel, correct? And all these things, all these industries, they require iron and steel as their raw material. So if these industries are nearby Tisco, what is it doing for them? It is reducing the production cost for them, because now they are not spending lot of money going and buying the raw material from the market. It is easily available nearby, so the amount of money that they spend on this is going to be less, correct?
The transport cost is
Yes,
gone.
transport cost is going to be saved. Excellent. So this is how you are going to pick up relevant points. Have you understood now? Okay,
Yes.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
the development of iron and steel industry opened doors for rapid industrial development in India. All right. Now another example that they have given here is Pittsburgh, which is in United States. Okay, and now I want all of you to in a minute to quickly read this. Read the Pittsburgh part of it in your mind, and then pick up the points like how you told me for Jamshedpur. Like that, you pick up the points for Pittsburgh and tell me the factors affecting location of iron and steel industry in Pittsburgh.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like coal was there easily available in mini store, and the water supply was also nearby, so that's why it was a
Wonderful.
nice.
Yes, yes. So you have the advantage of iron mines at Minnesota. Okay.
Yes,
Then you have
best routes
water
of
supply through the Great Lakes waterway. Okay. Then
and cheaply railway transport also.
trains also to
Trains,
carry.
yes.
Yes. Then rivers.
Then rivers also provide
Monongahela and
a
Allegheny rivers. Okay.
water
For adequate
supply.
water supply.
There they are located in valleys, so there is a silent area where people cannot be disturbed. Means there people cannot be get disturbed. So
Where
they,
is it?
ma'am, in the first after down large steel area, they are located in valleys of Monongahela itself. I mean
Okay.
the second line.
Okay. Okay, so finished steel is also transported by both land and water routes, right? So these are the advantages for the steel industry in Pittsburgh. All right. All right. So I'll
Okay,
stop.
ma'am.
Thank you.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.